We are just days away from Starship Flight 8. Critical advisories are being issued and the road closures we want to see before a launch are showing up. Are the chances of the asteroid hitting Earth in 2032 still a considerable danger? Is Musk right? Is the International Space Station coming down early? And more missions to the moon and asteroids? My name is Felix, welcome to What About It. Let's dive right in. Starship updates. We've got the latest on Starship Flight 8 and it is just days away. Days! It's one of the most anticipated missions from SpaceX and things are heating up at Starbase. Scheduled for February 28th, this 8th test flight will have no shortage of open mission goals to achieve, and we've got some exciting updates to share. The NOTAM for the Mexican side of the Gulf of America, or
Golfo de México, dependiendo de donde seas,
has already been released, and as well as a second NOTAM for the landing area close to Australia. This matches perfectly with our other exclusive observation. We have caught Flight 8's buoy equipment being prepped in Exmouth, Australia to support recovery operations, and at Starbase we see tanker trucks filling the tank farm at the OLM. These images of the buoys might be the best ones we've ever gotten so far, and they came directly from the community. Starship's hot stage ring was also seen moving from the factory to Mega Bay 1, a key component still needed for this flight. As for the likelihood of launch, recent reports suggest SpaceX is on track, but challenges remain. The FAA is reviewing data from Flight 7 and any delays in approvals could push the timeline into early March, though hardware like Booster 15 and Ship 34 are reportedly ready. What do you think? Will Flight 8 launch on time or will we see delays? Are you optimistic about SpaceX hitting these milestones or do you have concerns? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm eager to hear your predictions and reactions. We'll be streaming the launch and I'll be hosting it again together with Jonathan. Expect a stream reminder to pop up soon. I cannot wait to watch it with you. Also, we've got a sneak peek at some possible changes for Flight 9. Could it be the first test flight that includes a possible Starship catch attempt? A new FCC application for Special Temporary Authority shows specific instructions pertained for Starship's 9th attempt, and those include mentions of the second stage of Starship either returning to the launch site or performing a water landing. Clearly, this doesn't guarantee a second stage catch attempt, but it's the first time SpaceX has specifically made mention of such a possibility. That being said, whatever excitement Flight 8 brings us, whenever that may be, Flight 9 is promising to be even more exciting. Does this mean that Ship 36, the first Starship we have seen outfitted with attachment points for the catch, will be selected for Flight 9? Maybe, but it is also possible to retrofit these to Ship 34 and Ship 35. We will be on the lookout for any new developments. While Starship is getting ready to make headlines once again, we should also have a look at its older sibling, Falcon 9. On February 18th, SpaceX achieved a significant milestone by successfully landing a Falcon 9 rocket booster off the coast of the Bahamas for the first time. This event not only shows SpaceX's advancing capabilities in rocket recovery, but also positions the Bahamas as a significant player in the aerospace industry. The mission commenced with the Falcon 9 lifting off from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida at 6:21 p.m. Eastern Time. The primary objective was to deploy 23 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit, enhancing SpaceX's global internet constellation. Approximately 8 minutes post-launch, the first stage booster, designated B-1080, executed a precise landing on the drone ship Just Read the Instructions, stationed off the coast of the Bahamas. This marked the 110th successful landing on this particular drone ship and the 410th overall booster recovery for SpaceX. And most importantly, it was the first ever international landing of an orbital booster. This historic landing is the result of a collaborative agreement between SpaceX and the Bahamian government, aiming to expand SpaceX's recovery operations and optimize launch trajectories. By positioning recovery assets near the Bahamas, SpaceX can access different orbital paths, including southeast trajectories that were previously challenging. This strategic move not only enhances the efficiency of satellite deployments, but also paves the way for ambitious missions, such as the upcoming FRAM-2, which is set to be the first crewed spaceflight mission to orbit directly over the poles. The collaboration is poised to stimulate economic growth, attract technological investments, and inspire educational initiatives in science, technology, engineering, and math. On top of this, SpaceX has even committed to contributing $1 million to the University of the Bahamas to bolster STEM education, aiming to cultivate a new generation of Bahamian scientists and engineers. The successful integration of Bahamian landing sites into SpaceX's operations offers greater flexibility for future missions. This development aligns with SpaceX's ambitious plans to increase its launch cadence, aiming for up to 180 missions annually. The expanded recovery zone will be instrumental in supporting this intensified schedule, facilitating a broader range of missions and orbital insertions. But even with a rocket as reliable as the Falcon 9, irregularities or malfunctions are bound to happen once in a while. And sometimes these mishaps offer spectacular views. On February 19th, skywatchers across Northern Europe were treated to an unexpected celestial spectacle as the second stage of a Falcon 9 rocket made an uncontrolled re-entry over the region. Where did this upper stage come from? Starlink 11-4. While that launch went perfectly, the upper stage was unresponsive after deploying its payload. The first stage stuck the landing, and the upper stage failed to execute its planned deorbit burn, leading to a fiery breakup over Europe. Residents across Denmark, Sweden, the UK, the Netherlands, Germany, and Poland reported seeing bright streaks as the stage disintegrated in the atmosphere. In Poland, suspected debris was recovered in multiple locations, including a charred metallic fragment and a COPV tank that landed near Poznan. Authorities are now working to confirm its origin, but this serves as yet another reminder of the challenges in managing orbital debris. With Falcon 9's rapid launch cadence, SpaceX has largely minimized space junk risks with controlled deorbit burns. But as this event shows, not every mission goes exactly as planned. Maybe there needs to be a redundant deorbit system for emergency cases. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
Here's a story about Suni and Butch. They went up to the ISS on Boeing's Starliner and are staying way longer than initially planned. There's a lot to get wrong here. One of the best tools to see what the broader media world is saying, and my top source for my own research for What About It, is Ground News. So let's see what we get when researching Suni and Butch. You can follow along at ground.news/y. It's quite easy to get the impression that the two astronauts are in a dire situation, abandoned on the ISS, waiting for rescue, stuck. Depending on where you look, the reporting media paints a very different picture. A solid plan for Suni and Butch's return is already in place and has been ever since it was decided that they do not return on Starliner. The two also seem very happy to have extended their time in space. After all, this is why you become an astronaut, and time in space is rare. We can see that Ground News has found over 200 sources on this story, with over 50% of them having high factuality. This speaks on the accuracy of their reporting and the timeliness of their corrections. That's the world of media. Biased information all the time. Be smarter with Ground News. That's what we use at Y, and you can have the same benefits. The subscriber-funded model guarantees an ad-free research environment without sensationalism or clickbait reporting. By subscribing, you also directly support our work at Y. Go to ground.news/Y or scan the QR code on screen. When you use our link, you can get 40% off unlimited access, which is what we use. That's ground.news/Y. Get the whole story, not just what they want you to see. Try it for yourself.
Let's now move on to another topic that was widely debated this last week, the big asteroid scare. NASA has been closely monitoring asteroid 2024 YR4, a near-Earth object with a diameter estimated between 40 and 90 meters. Initially, the probability of this asteroid impacting Earth on December 22nd, 2032 was calculated at 3.1%, the highest ever recorded for a potential collision. However, subsequent observations have led to a reassessment, first reducing the impact probability to 1.5% and then all the way down to 0.36% by NASA and 0.16% by ESA. Despite this decrease, the asteroid remains a significant concern due to its potential to cause substantial regional damage. I mean, boom. If 2024 YR4 were to collide with Earth, the energy released would be approximately 8 megatons of TNT, 500 times the power of the Hiroshima nuclear bomb. Such an impact could devastate an area the size of a large city, with potential impact zones spanning major urban centers across the Eastern Pacific Ocean, Northern South America, the Atlantic Ocean, Africa, the Arabian Sea, and Southern Asia. Cities like Bogota, Lagos, and Mumbai are within the projected risk corridor. An impact in the ocean could also trigger a catastrophic tsunami wave spanning the entire globe. The asteroid's trajectory and size estimations have been refined through global collaborative efforts utilizing observatories worldwide and space-based assets like the James Webb Space Telescope. These observations aim to reduce uncertainties and provide a clearer understanding of the potential threat. Historically, as more data becomes available, the perceived risk of similar asteroids has decreased, and scientists are optimistic that continued monitoring will further diminish the likelihood of impact. In parallel, space agencies are exploring potential deflection strategies should the need arise. The successful Double Asteroid Redirection Test, or DART mission in 2022 demonstrated the feasibility of altering an asteroid's path. Building on this success, NASA and international partners are developing contingency plans to deploy similar technologies to nudge 2024 YR4 off a collision course, ensuring Earth's safety. While the current probability of impact is low, the situation underscores the importance of vigilant monitoring and preparedness in planetary defense. As more data is collected, our understanding of 2024 YR4 will continue to improve, enabling informed decision-making and, if necessary, timely intervention to protect our planet. As the meme says, nothing ever happens. Let's move on to something much closer to Earth. The International Space Station. It has been a beloved fixture in our skies for decades. Currently, there are nearly a dozen astronauts living on board, conducting critical research in microgravity and representing numerous countries. We all know the ISS isn't going to be around forever. It's expensive, dated, and has recently dealt with a spate of leaking issues. Not ideal while you're orbiting the planet. SpaceX has procured a contract to build a deorbit vehicle for the ISS by 2030. In June 2024, NASA awarded them a contract valued at up to $843 million to develop the United States Deorbit Vehicle, or USDV. It's a specialized spacecraft designed to safely deorbit the International Space Station at the end of its operational life, projected for 2030. The USDV will be an enhanced version of SpaceX's Cargo Dragon, featuring a significantly lengthened trunk module equipped with 46 Draco thrusters, compared to the standard 16, and capable of carrying approximately 30,000 kilograms of propellant, nearly 6 times the normal load. Big boy. NASA plans to launch the USDV in 2030 and dock it to the Harmony forward port of the ISS. The vehicle would remain attached and dormant for about a year, allowing the station's orbit to decay naturally. Once the ISS reaches a predetermined altitude, the USDV will perform a series of orientation burns to lower its perigee. This will be followed by a final deorbit burn to ensure a controlled re-entry over a remote area of the South Pacific Ocean, commonly referred to as the spacecraft cemetery. Now here comes a huge twist. Elon Musk is apparently keen to move up the timeline yet again. While we still need to wait for official word from the president on if the ISS will be deorbited earlier, it is safe to say this is a rapidly developing story. And since the International Space Station is not just a national affair for the US, but rather a collaborative venture of 16 nations, some talks with NASA's partners should take place before any decisions are made. We'll keep you updated. Here's my next question for you. I have plenty today. Do you think the ISS should be deorbited in the next 2 years or not? Post your reason as well. Before we go into the latest development in the field of space mining, let's have a look at our channel metrics. These show over 4 million returning monthly viewers who have not subscribed yet. Help improve the channel and double check that you've hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with our updates. It is free and it helps us bring you even better content. Like this video if you appreciate the content and become a wise supporter for extra content. Secure your access to up to 7 picture galleries per week, satellite, aerial, ground photos, and and 3D animation, chat with us, and gain more insights on the topic you love. Do you feel like doing something crazy? Check out redlineheli.com/Felix for a once-in-a-lifetime experience and $25 off flying in a helicopter above Starbase. The Redline helicopter team is waiting for you. They'll show you the same views our photographers get on their Starbase flights. And Flight 8 is around the corner. Make sure to check their booking options because you can fly during a launch. Now let's dig into some asteroids. Here's one of the hottest topics in the commercial spaceflight industry. Astroforge is making big moves in the asteroid mining game, and its next mission, Odin, could be a major step toward extracting precious metals from space. Launching in February 2025, Odin is headed for 2022 OB5, a near-Earth asteroid that could be rich in valuable resources. If successful, this mission will be a crucial step toward proving that asteroid mining isn't just science fiction, but a business model in the making. The big question is, what's so special about 2022 OB5? What are our interplanetary gold diggers going for? This asteroid, discovered in 2022, is around 100 meters in diameter and suspected to be an M-type asteroid. M-type. M stands for metals, which means it could be loaded with metals like nickel, iron, and even platinum group elements. If that's the case, Astroforge's plan is simple. Map it out, study its composition, and set the stage for a future mining operation. The spacecraft will reach its target about 300 days after launch. It will fly by the asteroid at a distance of 1.6 million kilometers from Earth, close enough to send back high-resolution imagery and composition data. Astroforge is moving fast. The Odin spacecraft was originally scheduled for an earlier launch, but a structural failure during vibration testing forced them to scrap the initial design. Instead of delaying the mission indefinitely, Astroforge built a brand new spacecraft in-house in just 10 months. Private spaceflight. An aggressive turnaround that proves they are willing to move quickly in an industry where delays are common. Odin's ride, a SpaceX Falcon 9. The spacecraft is set to launch as a secondary payload alongside Intuitive Machines' IM-2 Lunar mission, cutting costs and partnering with one of the world's most reliable launch vehicles. If everything goes according to plan, Odin won't just be a flyby mission. It'll be a scouting trip for something much bigger. Astroforge is already preparing for Vestry, a follow-up mission that will attempt to land on 2022 OB5 and test the feasibility of extracting metals. They are digging. The launch is scheduled for later in 2025, but first they need Odin to confirm that 2022 OB5 is worth mining. So what does this all mean? If Astroforge succeeds, this could be the first real proof of concept of asteroid mining. It's an idea that's been around for decades, but no company has successfully pulled it off. If Odin and Vestry pave the way, asteroid mining could become a major industry. One that reduces reliance on Earth's finite resources and brings valuable metals down from space. The race to mine asteroids is heating up, and Astroforge is staking its claim. Will this mission be the first step toward a space-based gold rush?
Hell yes.
Let's head over to Europe, where a handful of startups are reaching for the stars. ISR Aerospace is making serious progress towards its first orbital launch. The German company has officially completed full-duration testing of the Aquila engine, which will power its Spectrum rocket. This small satellite launcher is designed to compete in the growing commercial launch market. With tests now completed, Spectrum is on track for its debut flight in mid-2025 from Norway's brand new spaceport in Andøya. So what does this mean? ISR, or as Germans say ESA, aims to be Europe's answer to SpaceX for small launches. It offers a fully private alternative to government-backed launch systems like ESA's Ariane or Vega. The Spectrum rocket, built to carry up to 1,000 kilograms to low Earth orbit, competes directly with Rocket Lab's Electron and Relativity Space's Terran R. The successful full-duration static fire of the first Aquila engine cluster proves that ESA Aerospace's closed-cycle staged combustion engine design is flight-ready. This is a big deal because staged combustion is notoriously difficult to master, but it offers better efficiency and performance than traditional open-cycle engines. If Spectrum delivers on its promise, it could become a key player in Europe's rapidly evolving launch industry. Of course, there is still a long road ahead. Before Spectrum's first flight, ESA Aerospace still needs to complete final integration, transportation, and pre-launch tests. But with its engine validated, the company's goals are inching closer to reality. If successful, Spectrum's first mission will mark a major milestone for private European spaceflight. Europe has struggled to compete with US and China in commercial launch services, but companies like ESA Aerospace, Rocket Factory Augsburg, or Orbex are working on changing that. With Spectrum's first launch on the horizon, ESA Aerospace is one step closer to putting Europe on the map of commercial orbital launches. From orbital rockets, let's move on to lunar exploration. There is a lot happening in this field, in fact more than ever before. Intuitive Machines is gearing up for another historical lunar mission. Their Nova C-class lunar lander Athena has completed integration and is now encapsulated within SpaceX's payload fairing, making the final stages before launch. The mission, dubbed IM-2, is scheduled for liftoff no earlier than February 26, 2025 from NASA's Kennedy Space Center. That's the one that will also carry Astroforge's Odin spacecraft. This launch is particularly notable as it will be part of an unprecedented moment in space exploration. 3 lunar landers will be en route to the moon simultaneously. IM-2 is Intuitive Machines' second mission under NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services initiative, which plays a crucial role in the Artemis program. The goal? To establish a sustainable human presence on the moon by delivering key scientific and technological payloads. These payloads will lay the groundwork for future crewed missions and long-term infrastructure on the lunar surface. The mission follows the company's successful 2024 landing of the Nova C lander Odysseus, which marked the first US lunar landing since Apollo 17 in 1972. With IM-2, Intuitive Machines aims to build on this momentum and further prove the reliability of its lunar access services. With the IM-2 mission now in its final pre-launch phase, all eyes are on Launch Complex 39. If successful, this mission will reinforce Intuitive Machines' position as a key player in the new era of lunar exploration and commercialization. Stay tuned for updates as Athena makes its journey to the moon. That's it for today. Remember to smash the like button, subscribe for more. This is what fuels the algorithm, and this is how you can help us for free. Check out our epic shirts in your favorite Space Nerd store. A new Raptor design and our brand new Starship Block 2 design are both up. Link is in the description and in the card you should see now. Also, check out our print store at shop.whataboutit.space to buy a picture for your favorite wall. A significant amount of every purchase goes directly to our photographers. And if you want to learn more about the fascinating story of SpaceX's Raptor 3 engine, watch this video next to continue your journey. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next episode. This test flight, six. Dude, too many THs. All right.